Hey guys, so this video is apparently very anticipated, or I got a lot of questions on my breast reduction video that I posted. It's been a while now since, but I get questions quite often about that video. Questions concerning aftercare, concerning the cost of the procedure, how I'm getting along now. And I figured the best way to answer those questions would simply be to make another video. It's something that I've had on my mind to do forever, but as we all know, life's. And as much as I am, thinking that I want to get back into the YouTube space, I've definitely been procrastinating. So let's just count this as not only an informational video, but also me baby stepping back into YouTube. I guess I have a lot to share, and you all definitely had questions about this particular subject. So quick backstory. I got a breast reduction back in November of 2021, which means that I am a good almost 8 months post now at this point. I, in my mind, said, okay, I'll do like a 6-month update, but I just never followed up giving as much information as I thought I would share. So got my trusty notes, got a couple questions, and I just wanted to give some insight on things and hopefully help people feel a little bit more comfortable moving into their own procedures, or answer some questions that you might have before you decide to get your own reduction. Of course, this shirt is not the best shirt to really show off the difference. So I guess at the end of the video, I will change it to a different shirt and show you guys where we are now compared to where I was before, which was way bigger than this, way bigger. Let's get into it. Let's talk about 10 questions that have to do with my breast reduction. All right, so the first question, how long was the actual surgery from anesthesia to waking up? To be honest, I don't really remember. I would have to ask my wife, but as close to memory as I can get, I know we had to get there super early, like 6 or 7. And I believe we started the surgery like around 8, and we were already on our way home by 2. So of course that includes the recovery period. I think that the surgery from anesthesia to completion was about 3 to 4 hours, but don't quote me on that. Of course, with anesthesia, I was nervous. I am always a little nervous with anesthesia, but everything went super smooth. The hospital that I went to was, oh my God, they were beyond top notch. Like, they were so caring, so kind, so patient. They had answers to any questions and concerns that I had. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend them. Second question, could I share my PCP's info? I'm not sure if you mean the person who did the surgery, but my surgeon was Dr. Alan Larson, and he is at Buckhead Plastic Surgery, of course, in Buckhead. Amazing. I definitely had concerns because of how large I was before. And, we discussed, doing a reduction and a lift. And in my mind, I kind of had like, if you are reducing, and even if you're lifting, do we need to do like an implant so that they're like perky or whatever? And he's like, no, I got it, which I was happy because I didn't have to spend more money. But I wasn't really sure how that was gonna work. And if I would not get banned from YouTube, I would show you guys, but it worked well. The girls are no longer doing this, they're doing this. They're where they are supposed to be. They're up where they belong, and I couldn't be more pleased. So Dr. Alan Larson, Buckhead Plastic Surgery. The next question, how much was the procedure after insurance? I got this question a couple times. I don't clearly remember, but estimating, and I kind of took a glance at my old insurance papers and things like that. The surgery was around $7,400 without insurance, if I remember right. Could have been slightly more. That could have been like the surgeon fee or the hospital fee. But around $7,400. Once I applied insurance to that, my out-of-pocket expense, according to my notes, is $1,370. I could manage $1,370 for the difference that this surgery made. So yeah. The next question, how long in between the time that I voiced concerns to my primary care doctor to when the insurance approved? It was a long time. It was a really long time. I actually got worried about the timeline. So on March 24th, I went to the doctor. I told her what I was thinking. You know, I wanted to get this reduction surgery, but wanted to get it approved by insurance. And I don't know if you know, I'm going to assume that most of you know how this kind of goes, because if you're watching this video, that means that you have been researching this procedure. So you have to get like permission from your PCP doctor to say that you actually have, you know, issues with your breast. Either your back is hurting, it's digging in your shoulder. I run. That was my big concern. Like when I run and, you know, you're doing this motion and that bra just kind of like digging into my shoulders, it would literally rub the skin off of my shoulders. And that's the concern that I took to my PCP. She wrote up a script for a recommendation about the reduction. I went in for my initial consultation at the surgeon on April 21st, and it took a really long time to get approved, like a really long time. So just keep this in mind. I had my initial consultation April 21st. My second consultation to kind of like determine size and our plan of action, that was June 2nd. I had my surgery on November 2nd, so just use that as a timeline. It takes a minute. You have to really be willing to stay on top of, you know, your doctor and your insurance to make sure that they're following up, to make sure that you are going to get that approval, to find out if you need to do something else to kind of help move that process along. So you have to be very proactive so that you can get this surgery done without having to spend up to $10,000 of your own money. I definitely had determined though that if I had to spend $10K of my own money, I was going to figure it out, because I was that sick of it. So, you know, but it's always better if somebody else pays for it or pays the majority. So be persistent. The next question, what was my old size compared to my current size? Now, like I said, this shirt is not the best shirt to illustrate where I am now or even where I was. But before I got the surgery, I would say that I was like an E. Triple D, E is kind of the same thing. Way too big. You know, as you get older and you age, you gain a little weight. Your breasts are gonna just keep getting bigger. So that's what they were doing. And even if I would work out, if I would drop some pounds, if I do my little fast, things would slim down, but these jugs were staying. I was over it. Currently, I am a C cup. I have a lot of bras that are like cutesy bras that are like D cups, and I've worn them. I still will wear them sometimes, but there's definitely gaping at the top and things like that. So I would say I'm a strong C. Even after all of this time, I still haven't bought real bras. I've bought maybe one, and it was really just something frilly to wear under a sheer turtleneck. But I still haven't really bought bras. I'm wearing a lot of like sports bras, or like the cami bras, demi bras, whatever you call them. I don't even know the name because I never was able to wear them before, but I wear like a lot of soft bras, so I'm guessing it's a C. It sounds about right, looks about right. I'll show you later. Next question, did they do anything to the nipple? Yes, they did, girl. Imagine, I said I was a size E, going much smaller. So clearly the nipple position I had was not going to make sense, because you're not pulling skin from here per se. So what they did, you know, they do like the anchor scar. So I have this under here and one right here. They did all the removal of the skin and the fat. They cut your entire nipple off. I know it sounds crazy, sounds scary. I was concerned about it. You know, you think about nipple sensitivity, you think about the scarring, you think about all of those things. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. Actually, the nipple scarring is the least scarring. They cut it off, they take all of the extra tissue off, they sew you up, and then they replace that nipple where it's supposed to go. And let me tell you, the girls are amazing right now. I'm very happy about it. I'm just really happy about it. Now, when it comes to like nipple sensitivity, I definitely was nervous about, you know, losing the feeling in them or becoming hypersensitive, which I personally think would be even worse. But I had a little bit of an issue with this side. Like I had numbness up here for a long time. And long story short, I actually had like a breast cancer scare. But all is well, all is well. No cancer, no cancer. It was something called fat necrosis that was happening. There was like a little ball of fat causing numbness in my breast. I went to a breast specialist to get it checked out, and once she aspirated that little fat blob out of there, everything's been fine. So they're not like hypersensitive, and they are definitely not sensitive. Does that make sense? They're fine. They're perfectly fine. I know that that varies for, you know, different individuals, but for me, everything was. The next question is, did I have pressure underneath, I guess where the scar is? This young lady, she's in her post stage right now, so she's feeling some pressure under there. I don't really remember outside of sometimes feeling like that weight on your scar. So your scars are going to be very sensitive. That's like the most sensitive part. It's not really pain. It's not really, it's very hard to explain. It's not necessarily pain, but you do feel like if you get cold and like you get a shiver, you're gonna feel those shivers like in the actual scars. At least I did. So that might be the pressure that you're referring to. I don't think that I experienced a lot of that, but I do remember feeling like weight on the actual scars. Like sometimes if I was a little too active, if I got a little bit too much bravery going on and I was like bouncing or whatever, I would sometimes feel like I probably should slow down because I didn't want like the weight to split the incisions. I actually did have a situation where I caused a small little split like right in that little T area. I went to get it checked out and they said that that was normal and it was fine. It freaked me out because I definitely had some leakage, but that leakage is also part of the fat necrosis process. I guess it kind of seeps out, or it can seep out. So it was nothing to be alarmed about, but you know, no real pressure. I'm just gonna say take it easy. The last three aren't so much questions as they are my advice to you, things that I don't think that I saw in the videos that I was watching and things that I've kind of discovered along the way and I think would be helpful to share. So number 8, scar massage. So your doctor will probably tell you to, you know, you want to massage the scars, one for the appearance, but also you don't want scar tissue to form. At first, it doesn't feel comfortable because you're afraid that you're going to hurt yourself. Obviously, like it's an incision and it's a apparent incision. So, you know, the thought of rubbing on that feels kind of weird. But once you get past that, you know, I would do it and then we started feeling good and I was like, oh, I'm straight, and I stopped doing it. To this day, like right here on this side, it's tender. Like when I switch positions, like say I've been laying on my left side all night and then I move, that weight shift, I literally feel it on this side of my incision. So I would say definitely take heed and keep up with your scar massages because the scar tissue can be a little painful. I wouldn't say it's painful like it's unbearable, but it's a little annoying, and I know that I probably could have avoided that had I just kept up with my scar massage a little better. Number 9. This is one that, you know, I'm definitely talking to myself, but it might apply to you as well. Keep wearing your bra. If you're like me, you've been brawed up forever, okay? Sometimes double and triple brawed up. So when I had the option to not wear it, honey, I was walking around this house like no bra. Sometimes even going out, I'll wear like a little, you know, like a little demi bra or whatever and just be out living my best life. No. I noticed that the shape started changing, and I know that part of that could be just, you know, natural settling of the breast, but I don't want to undo the amazing work that my doctor did. So make sure that you don't go too far with that no bra thing. You want to make sure the girls are up, that they're high and tight because you paid your money for it. You went through the recovery process for them. Don't mess them up, okay? And lastly, but not least, watch your weight. Even before I got my reduction, when my weight would fluctuate, my breast size would sometimes fluctuate. So with weight gain came bigger breasts. When you get these bad boys done, don't think that they're gonna just stay there. If you've begin to put on weight, they're going to get a little bigger. I've probably gained about 5 pounds since my surgery. I love where my breasts are now, but I have noticed that they've gotten a little fuller. And I don't want to be 5 years down the road and want to get another reduction because I've kind of like let that part get lax. So be mindful that, you know, with weight gain comes some weight gain here as well. So once again, you don't want to undo the good work that you had done. So be mindful of your weight because you will gain some of that fat back. All right, that's about all I have. If there are any more questions about breast reduction surgery, please drop them and I will be happy to answer them because I feel like, you know, it's always good to connect with people and get like real actual stories about their experiences. It'll give you some peace of mind, some insight, and you don't have to be as afraid as you might be otherwise. So make sure if you have some questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Now, real quick before I go, I'm going to go change into another shirt so you can see how they look after this 8-month process.